because Habitat for Humanity, they do amazing things in our community, and they have just hit an incredible milestone. And I want to bring in Brian Sonderman, the CEO from Habitat for Humanity here in Milwaukee, to tell us about the milestone that has been reached. Brian, thanks for joining us here on the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. We're celebrating our longest term corporate partnership, this partnership between Milwaukee Habitat and Sargento Foods. Sargento, a great Wisconsin cheese company, has partnered with Milwaukee Habitat since 1992. They were our first corporate sponsor, and we did a family reunion where we celebrated their 40th and 41st home that they have sponsored here in Milwaukee.
41 homes, 41 lives changed forever because of the work that they obviously have helped with, not only manpower, but the money they're providing to help build these homes. I've got some pictures here, and what I love about this, right here, that is the CEO of Sargento, correct?
Absolutely. That's Louis Gentine, third generation CEO, owner of Sargento Foods. And this is not his first rodeo, so to speak. He has been out to the build site many, many times. In fact, the first home that Sargento sponsored back in 1992, a homeowner by the name of Tandra and her son moved into that home in 1992. And Louis was a high school student at the time, and he came out and helped build that house. So it was really cool to have Tandra come and be a part of our celebration. Now, 33 years later, she's still in that home and testifying to the impact it's had. And then to be able to, see Louis and thank him and thank the rest of the Sargento family for this amazing partnership.
It's just so cool to see them like roll up the sleeves and get out there and help. I know the Bucks were out there as well, another great corporate sponsor you have. But, I mean, we're talking 41 homes. These are families who likely may have never gotten inside of a house. And it's just incredible that one company has really helped build all of those homes.
Really is. And Sargento is based in Plymouth, so, about an hour or so drive, which is an amazing thing. They're not actually in this immediate market. And so every day volunteers make that drive to help build in the city of Milwaukee. And 27,000 plus volunteer hours since 1992, $2.8 million donated to help build these homes, and another 200 and some thousand through the Tip Off for Homes program with the Milwaukee Bucks. It's just, I mean, those numbers are astounding. But I think the special thing about Sargento, and I think it's because of that family ownership, that they really take a strong interest in each family, in getting to know the family, in celebrating their accomplishment in becoming a homeowner. And that's a really special thing beyond the incredible numbers of dollars and volunteer hours. It really demonstrates, I think, the values of the company itself.
And Brian, you were saying that this event, you called it a family reunion. I thought what was so cool is that a lot of those families who have been in homes through Habitat, they came back to celebrate this big milestone.
Yeah, we put it out to the families. It was in the middle of the day. So, people have busy lives, they have work and everything. We had about a dozen families that were able to come by the build site. And I mentioned Tandra, first homeowner with Sargento, 1992, to Teresa, who's actually helping build her home last week and right alongside Sargento volunteers, and will be looking to move into her home in spring of next year. And then we had homeowners, of every era. I think one of the, I think on the screen there you see Teresa, who's one of our newest homeowners. We had homeowners who just wanted to stop by, sometimes now with adult children, children who grew up in these homes, and being able to just say thank you. So that was pretty special.
It's interesting. They were just talking. I mean, we just had Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, was just here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. You should hear that interview. And we just did a story yesterday about home assessment prices in Wauwatosa going up 54%. Are we in a home crisis right now, I mean, just the cost to try and get into a home, even your starter home, has gone through the roof, especially in the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Over the last 10 years, home prices have doubled in the state of Wisconsin. So we're very clearly in a home ownership crisis, and certainly that's hit those that are lower income more so. But every sector of the economy is impacted by this. And so, as I talk to people in business leaders, I talk to politicians, everybody seems to understand that housing is a major crisis right now because they're seeing it with their children, their grandchildren, their workers can't afford to get into a home that can fit their family size and be able to live in a community near where they work. And so I heard the Fed chairman, talking about, interest rates are a component. One of the things that we do at Habitat is really work hard to work with lenders to provide below market interest rate loans that are that a person who's just sort of starting out can afford. But there's not enough of those out there, and there's just not enough building going on.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Habitat's the largest builder in Milwaukee County. We need more builders in Milwaukee County to serve the needs of the million plus people who live here.
I mean, you're just talking about the interest rate there. It's at over 7 in a lot of spots. I'm just thinking, I got into my house 5 years ago at less than 3. And it's almost like, well, I can never sell my house because how will I afford the house? But for people who are scraping by and just really trying to save every dollar, it takes so much more, it seems, to just put down that down payment that's needed to try and get into these homes. You would hope that your work, you wouldn't need as much, there wouldn't be as many clients for Habitat for Humanity. It seems like there are more people that need help now than ever.
Yeah, we're seeing, I've been with the organization now, CEO, for 15 years. And so I've seen some ups and downs in the housing market. But one thing that I can say is that the demand and interest in our program right now is at its highest level in 15 years.
Wow.
People, we are inundated with applications and interest in our program. And obviously we have a limited number of families that we can serve each year. We're building 34 new homes this year. We're planning to build 40 next year. That makes us one of the largest habitats in the country, but it nowhere near meets the interest and demand from the Milwaukee community. And these are folks that are just hardworking families. They're the people that work in the medical field as CNAs and dental assistants and medical assistants, and they work in light manufacturing. They work in our school systems. They're school teachers and aides. So they're sort of the backbone of our society. They help make our community run and operate, and they take care of our kids and our elders. And so these are the folks we can't afford to lose because they can't find affordable housing. And so that's why Habitat's work is so important. That's why the work of Sargento is so important, and why I think Sargento is so committed to Habitat as an organization is they know they need a strong workforce. They know that if they're going to thrive in terms of the work that they do, that they need people that they can employ and people that can afford to live in the communities where those jobs are.
And I'm sure the most gratifying part of your job is you get to hear the stories of how their lives are changed once they get some stability and a roof over their head and a mortgage they know they can pay. And in a brand new house. How does it change people's lives? What do people tell you?
Well, it is one of the most gratifying parts. So one of the things that we do is we have a dedication that when a homeowner moves in and we hand the keys over, and there's always tears because, I'll often ask homeowners, why did you do this? Because they invest hundreds of hours of sweat equity helping to build their own home. Most of their PTO for the year, most of their Saturdays are taken up building their home, preparing for home ownership. So it's a big sacrifice. And without a doubt, what they will say is, it's not for me, it's for my children. It's so often they've made this sacrifice so that they can provide stability for their children to grow up in a home that their parents own, so that they're not moving from rental to rental because the rent keeps going up. And so that stability is something that those parents are looking for their children because they know how important it is. And then, when we begin to celebrate with families when they pay off their mortgage 20, 30 years later, the stories I hear then are, we were able to raise our kids in this home. They graduated from high school. They've now gone on to college. Some of them are now homeowners. Some of them have gone on to get PhDs. The impact of home ownership on the next generation is incredibly powerful. We have the statistics that bear it out. We see it and hear it in the stories of our homeowners over time. And that's one of the benefits of being in an organization now that's been doing this for 41 years in our community is we know our families well. We know their stories. We know the impact it has on the educational performance, the health outcomes, the wealth creation. And it's really, really powerful. And it's one of the best parts of my job is to be able to talk to our homeowners, hear their stories, and for our staff and volunteers, because that fuels us to get out there and do more.
You talked about this a little bit, but talk about what's coming in the year ahead, because as you just mentioned, you still are setting big goals for your organization.
Yeah, so we set out about 3.5 years ago to double in size over 5 years, and we're actually, thankfully, through the support of the community, both from dollars and volunteers, we're ahead of schedule. So next year, we thought maybe by 2028 we'd be able to build 40 homes. Well, we're going to do that next year. That's our plan right now. We've worked with the city of Milwaukee to identify the lots, and we've acquired those, and we have homeowners in queue. And so we're really excited to be able to serve those 40 families to start building those homes in early spring. And in addition, we are going to do more critical home repairs than we've ever done as an organization, well over 120 critical home repairs next year. So that's a lot of families to serve. We'll need lots of volunteers. And so if folks who are listening to this have ever said, you know what, I would like to maybe try volunteering with Habitat, we welcome you. Don't have to bring any skills. We'll teach you what you need to do that day, and just invite you out to the build site, because I can tell you without a doubt it will transform your life.
I'm exhausted listening to everything you're planning to do in the next year, and I haven't even lifted a hammer or anything. Habitat's near and dear to my heart. About right when I graduated college many, many years ago, I did a charity ride from New Haven, Connecticut to San Francisco, raising money for Habitat and joining different Habitat builds all along the route. And it changed my life, just that whole summer of...
Well, that makes me tired, just thinking about that ride. So.
Well, what if I told you I don't even own a bicycle right now? Like that, the amount of biking I did that summer was good enough for me, I think, for the rest of my life.
The whole lifetime.
I'm trying to get back in the bike game, but yeah. So yeah, Habitat, you guys do great work. It's just really impressive. 40 and 41 homes now, just through Sargento partnership. Not even talking about all the other partnerships that you guys have. Great work. Appreciate you coming on the Wisconsin Live Desk, Brian.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. Take care.